for education. As we round those bases and get to the end, it goes from here to this kid's in the school. We start there, and then of course there's the education of the bad guy getting caught with his ticket or his court date. Public complaints keep rolling in. The public that are educated now know what we need, what information we're looking for. Give some of that to us. It builds up my intel bank that I have. The media, very important source. We use the media to say we're campaigning right now. This city has had it. We want to work towards cleaning up. We want our tourism back. We don't want to be spending $20,000 a site. We want more done. And we're getting it done. We just busted $10,000, just got nabbed. A vehicle was seized. A person was charged $575 in the media and hit it. And that's another source that gets out. Education starts to rise. The bad guys start to feel uncomfortable. They don't like it here anymore. We're being pushed out. Fines and penalties, of course, another remedy. It helps. But it's a tough one. Keep on finding people, keep on finding people. Like I said, this population or the of people that are dumping may be higher. So I think fines and penalties will work, but I don't think I'm going to get to them all. I put all this together, and I think I will chip away at that, what I believe is 20, maybe 15% of the population, and I cut down on it until I start seeing results. How we see results? Very easily. The district saves money on the cleanups. We get more fines. We see more coming out of in courts, and the media is pumping this out. And now the key thing to this is this is the most important part of it all. It's community involvement and how we're going to achieve this and how we're going to get buy-in. I think this is an easy one to buy into. But the community's involvement is when you speak with people and the importance it is to your life and in your back pocket, the money you're going to save in your taxes, if it may cost you a bit at the other end of maybe revisiting solid waste plans or forcing government to make change based on how you vote, how you think, and how the representatives of these different parties will accept the idea that we need to work on this and how we can resolve this. Is it more environmental staff? Is it more given to bylaws? Where does it lay? But if at least the people agree that it will make a difference, then it starts to work. We've got a great showing people here. And this will only get bigger and bigger because every one of you guys will talk to more people about this issue as it gets out there and how important it is. And I'm promising you that I'm full bore working with you. As you can see in these photographs, there's conservation officers hidden there and there. For the 75 of us that live and work in this province, in this uniform, maybe 80. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different ones here. That's almost a huge percentage of what we are in the province. And they're all involved in some type of cleanup and assisting. And behind those scenes, there's other operations going on. You can go to the next slide. I want to thank you all for this. And I want to tell you guys that we are working on this. And we are doing what we can with the small staff that we have. And I am in process of doing more surveillance. I've got sites recognized where they fit the criteria of surveillance. When you do remote surveillance, there's a lot of things you got to look at. I want you guys to understand that. You can't just say dump site, put a camera up. There's a little more. It's almost a mathematical equation that only has one way to be placed to get to the answer. You need the perfect cover. You need the perfect lighting. You can't have things not working against you. Where's the bad guy situated when he does the dumping? Things like that. There's a lot of looking at. So cameras are not the answer, but they do work. They're one of the tools. And now I want to talk to you guys about it. Now there were some questions that I saw 2 people, but I hope you held on to it. Now we're going to go in reverse. you had the last question. Go ahead.
I'm just curious on how hard it is to catch people in the act. Is part one of the question. The second part is how hard is it to enforce the rules and regulations? If you catch somebody doing something, how hard is it to follow form and get them to court?
Okay, yeah, no, that's a great question. So what I've done to allow that passage street into court is I did go to our representatives at the Crown office. And I said, this is what we've got going on. Please lay me some parameters that will get you to bite and work with me. And they did lay them down. And they, like I said, businesses, key number one. You bring me some business guy who's dumping, I'm all over it. And I know my judges are going to love it. So there's that, and then the little bag of stuff out here and there, preferably go by ticket. It's better, makes more sense of it. It doesn't use up the court time, and it's what we figure will be more appealing to the public and get a result. But if it's a massive load, like a big truck that's load full, and there's something there through a forfeiture vehicle, and the load matches about what the cost of cleanup would be, let's go to court with that. And we'll forfeit the stuff. We'll start to play, let's work at that. So there's good support there. But they want us to use that toolbox of what we have. Penalties, fines, and but I cannot, some of the things I was going to talk to you guys about, the restrictions, or some of the hard parts of this. You say, there's a bag, everybody says, well, I went through it, you got all this mail in there. That does not suffice the evidence to prosecute a person and get a guilty charge. That person can say, it's not mine. It's mine. I remember I put it out there. Yeah, it's gone. You know he's lying, but it's enough. Because you've lost continuity of where that went to. And it could have been someone else. Like there is reasonable doubt, right? That could have been picked up and somebody else decided to go through it, get what he wanted and chuck it out. So that isn't the only tool. But you can use that stuff and try to backtrack to the person and get a confession, which is very hard sometimes. They just tell you, no, get out of it. And they have the right to tell any officer, come into the door, to leave. You have no reason to be here. I don't want to talk to you. That is a charter right. So, unless I find him committing, that's a different thing. But if I haven't, I really don't have much more I can't interrogate or anything like that at that point to get more information. Yes, your question, sir?
Well, you started by talking about federal law, but then the Environmental Management Act and the sections that you were referring to, are those provincial or federal?
Yeah, sorry, I should have been more clear on that. They're provincial. All the stuff I brought up today were provincial. Okay. There's the federal portions of those are very big. Like under the federal act, there's the deleterious substance and harmful alteration to habitat, which is under the Federal Fisheries Act. Those are big cookies that you need quite a bit of background, you need a lot of evidence, and they only are dealt with in court anyways. There's no fine penalty for that. Those you can use, but that's sort of like an excavator bucking through the Fraser, right? Or the river. Or some big company deciding to let out all their chemicals into a system. And they can be dealt with federally. In this situation, legal dumping, I don't think I'll use many of those in that situation. And if it does go to that, well, that'll be dealt with a huge group of, with our own environmental protection branch and the feds, and then it'll work its way up and down, and big fines will be in place. Yes, sir.
When you were talking about shotgun shells, do I understand it correctly that each shell constitutes an individual ticketing offense of $115?
Yeah.
Isn't that the answer to ending shotgun shells in the environment?
Sorry? Yeah. So the question was to clarify the topic that I brought up when I said the shotgun shells, boom, boom, each individual one is a case of littering. In fact, it is.
So you could park Sylvester Road or pick your road, observe record, and then nail them on exit. That would stop things in an awful hurry.
It does, it would. And I have done it. I did it in Squamish for the first time. We executed this. We were up on a hill and we're looking at the guys and we counted who was doing what. And it got so crazy we couldn't keep track anymore. So there was three guys shooting and 22s and shotguns and other stuff. We got down to our numbers and after a point we're like, okay, I'm losing track here. So I can't get them for each one, but I can backtrack a bit. But then I need to be able to prove to the court that that guy was the one who dumped them all. And he did not pick them up, and he left the area intending not to go back. And there's something I can use and say, I know you did 15 of those or 100. That's a lot of charges I can get you under each ticket, right? Yeah, if I wanted to go that far. Remember, it said don't exceed 2,000. I think that also falls under mine.
Oh, does it?
Well, yeah, I'm not sure on that one. Good question. Can I go past the 2,000 on my tickets under that situation? Because it says no fines can exceed $2,000, but that's
not no fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
under a judge's decision. That's a good question. In a lot of cases, we can't exceed the maximum on our own.
But even $2,000, though. I mean,
yeah, but you're right. You're right. So if you wanted to pile on, you can do it. But in most cases, we won't do that because it does impose some more work on our part to get the final outcome. Would be here's your 115 and run them, of course. Oh, first time. Okay, here's your 115. Most people are really upset about that. These guys were fuming that they just got a ticket for that. When there's shells everywhere, of course, everybody else is doing it.
But the word would spread like wildfire if a guy walked out with $2,000 in fines.
Yeah, and we want to impose that. We want to remind our officers that we have that tool to do, and that's something we will be looking at, and we are going to be enforcing that. That may be one way to get rid of those red shells everywhere. You're right. Sir?
Yeah. So you haven't really approached my pet peeve, and that's campsites. And, let's say like Jones Lake or Chilliwack Lake and even Chilliwack River and all that. And I know it's going to take a moment from, let's say, more than just you guys, but what is being done about it to curb that? Because I think prevention is probably the best policy on this one, where maybe you can ban people from showing up, let's say repeat offenders. Because most of the guys who do this are mostly from GBRD.
The individual campsites being
No, I'm talking about not just individual campsites. I'm talking, let's say, like just people who go camping at the lakes, go camping, on those little roads. Example given, I used to go camping by Chilliwack River, and that's where the river's crossing the Chilliwack Lake Road.
Yeah.
And you guys were putting like 2 blocks of concrete blocks there, and you took them off, and when I went back, there was an explosion of garbage right there.
Yeah.
And so what I'm saying is, like, you get those individual campers there, and what's being done to curb that? I mean, even let's say like Jones Lake, they have done a program where they involved the RCMP, and they've decided to take care of it, where they put a no drugs, no alcohol rule in there. And I heard they even picked up the garbage and brought it back to Langley High School and told them they're banned. Can we do something like that for more than just, let's say, Jones Lake?
A creative type of sentencing like that, we can look at those things. We have to work with our partners in that, and the ministries that look after those rec sites, if they're designated rec sites. If they're clandestine rec sites, like some of those ones at the top, we can't impose any of our current acts on as a campsite and use what's available. It would basically go under EMA, under the pollution and that, and doing inspections out there. There is a lot, just by going out and talking. I know who you are, I got your plate number. That's one way to help curtail that and how to minimize that whole issue. There is tools we can do. We have been looking at some very interesting things and talking about it with Mike and his shop on some of the issues that we can do. So yeah, we are looking at some more creative enforcement practices that don't involve the regular ticketing, the surveillance cameras. It's just a basic right time of year, get in, talk to those kids. And we do those patrols, but like I said, 5 of us, and when it comes to those prime times, we're usually stationed out to high impact areas where we're working that system by being on those patrols, targeting certain areas, and we have seen really great results. East Harrison, phenomenal job down there. West Harrison, we're starting to really start